Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the types of processes in chemical engineering. And this is important because you will be encountering a lot of material and energy balance wherein this type of processes will be mentioned. So your calculation will be depending kung anong klase ng process meron tayo, no? So we will be discussing these fundamental laws like the law of conservation of mass, the first law of thermodynamics, and the Newton's second law. And then, we will start discussing itong types of processes natin. Meron tayong tinatawag na batch process, continuous processes, and the semi-batch processes. Moreover, we're also going to discuss yung tinatawag nating steady state and unsteady state processes. So, mahalaga na maintindihan natin yung pagkakaiba ng mga to bago tayo mag-aral or bago natin sagutan yung mga problems na ma-encounter natin in chemical engineering calculations and unit operations. And by the way guys, by watching this video, you can have a chance to win a free Casio FX 570 ES Plus 2nd edition. So you just have to look for this entry code throughout the video and then i-fill up natin yung form to join our contest. And it is really important also to join our Engineers Facebook group para updated kayo sa mga contest na binibigay natin. So, hindi na natin patatagalin pa. Let us jump to our discussion about the types of processes in chemical engineering. Well, it is very important to understand what are the types of processes in chemical engineering. You will be encountering a lot of this whenever you are performing material and energy balance. Not just in chemical engineering calculations, but also when you reach unit operations. So, napakahalaga talaga na maging familiar tayo sa different types of processes na to so that if ever we encounter that in a problem, alam mo kagad kung ano yung tinutukoy na situation natin. Okay, so when you start studying chemical engineering calculations and unit operations, mapapansin ninyo na meron tayong mga sinusunod na fundamental laws. Okay, and you will be encountering these three fundamental laws when you are studying engineering. First, we have the law of conservation of mass. Well, as per this law, mass cannot be created nor destroyed. So it means that whatever mass comes in should be equal to the mass that will come out. And this is actually the fundamental concept that we are using when we are doing material balance. Okay, so in the law of conservation of mass, ano yung ating conserved quantity dito? Okay, so katulad na nabanggit ko kanina, hindi nagbabago yung ating mass as it comes in and comes out of our process, right? So therefore, ang ating conserved quantity here is the mass. Now, another fundamental law na may encounter natin is yung the first law of thermodynamics. Well, the first law of thermodynamics states that the total energy of the universe is constant. So the energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. Okay, so we have a separate video about the first law of thermodynamics. Kaya if you're really interested about this topic, you can just search to our YouTube channel. So as stated sa first law of thermodynamics, our conserved quantity here is energy. Right, so because our energy cannot be created nor destroyed, and it can just be transferred from one form to another. Okay, and another fundamental law na may encounter natin when we are studying engineering is yung tinatawag nating Newton's second law. And Newton's second law states that the summation of all forces is equal to the rate of change of the momentum. So, therefore, our conserved quantity here is momentum. And you will see the application of this law when you study engineering mechanics. Well, for our topic today, we will not be concerned a lot about the Newton's second law, but we will be concentrating dito sa law of conservation of mass and the first law of thermodynamics, in which our conserved quantity is mass and energy. Okay, because this is usually what we are using when we are dealing with material and energy balance. So, dahil conserve ang ating mass and energy, based dito sa ating law of conservation of mass and the first law of thermodynamics. So, if we have this diagram here, whatever mass and energy going in, so let's say here we also have mass and energy, will be equal to the mass and energy going out. Okay? Okay, because mass and energy cannot be created or destroyed. but energy can just be transferred from one form to another. Alright, so malinaw na yan, ano? Meron tayong tatlong law na nagiging batayan in studying chemical processes. So, ano-ano ba yung mga types of processes na may encounter natin when we are studying chemical engineering? So, meron tayong tatlong types ng processes. We have the batch process, continuous processes, and the semi-batch processes. So, ano yung mga pinagkaiba niya? Yan yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. First, meron tayong tinatawag na batch processes. So, let's consider this as our process. So, let's say we have a reactor, no? And then, this is our feed, F. So, ibig sabihin, we are charging our material dito sa ating process. So, here in the batch process, we are charging our material at time is equal to 0. Okay, so let's say our time here is equal to time 0 or our initial time, right? Well, one thing that you need to take note kapag meron tayong batch process is that there is no mass that is crossing our boundary. So, ibig sabihin, at the time is equal to 0, nag-charge tayo ng feed dito sa ating process. So, let's say here is our feed. At time greater than time 0 or lumagpas na sa ating initial time, wala nang pumapasok na feed dito sa ating system, no? Because once the process starts, there is no mass that crosses our boundary. Ito yung boundary ng ating process, no? So, wala nang nagko-cross na mass dito sa ating system once time starts for the process. However, mass lang naman yung hindi pwedeng mag-cross sa boundary. That means, energy can cross our boundary. Ibig sabihin, pwede tayong, let's say, mag-apply ng heat, Q. No? So, this is heat. So, pwede tayong mag-apply ng energy in a form of heat. Or, let's say, if this is mixing, we could also stir our process. So, that means we are also applying energy in a form of work. Okay? So, let me change this to orange para mas visible, okay, yung ating mga details dito sa ating diagram. Okay? Alright, and now, on the batch process, just after we apply yung kailangan nating heat or work and reach yung kinakailangan nating condition ng ating material, then that's the only time that our product will come out of our process. Okay, so this is our product P. Right? So it is clear, no? Because the product will not come out until our process is finished. So let's say, hinihintay natin mag-take place yung ating reaction or may condition tayo na gustong ma-reach bago natin makuha yung product. Okay? So, again, yung batch process, at the beginning, i-charge natin yung ating feed dito sa ating system. And then, energy may be applied to either complete the reaction or ma-reach natin yung condition na kinakailangan natin to form our product. And then after that, our product will come out. So as you can see, isa-isa lang yung ating pagpaprocess. Feed in, process, then product out. Yan yung tinatawag nating batch process. So when do we use batch process? Well, we usually use batch process when we want to produce in small quantity. We also use batch process if we want maximum conversion. And also, we use the batch process in order to have a tight control on the quality of the product. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag nating batch processes. So ano naman tong tinatawag nating continuous processes? Ano yung kaibahan niya sa ating batch process? Well, dito naman sa continuous process, our feed is charged to our system continuously. Okay, so kung naalala ninyo sa batch process natin, we will charge our feed dito sa ating system at time is equal to 0. Then after that, hindi na tayo magcha-charge uli, no? So once the process starts, wala na ring feed na pumapasok sa ating system. While dito sa continuous process, yung feed natin is continuously fed dito sa ating system, no, sa ating process. And at the same time, our product P is also continuously taking out. So continuous yung flow ng ating feed and continuous yung flow ng ating product. Okay, so yan yung pagkakaiba niya sa batch process. Yung batch process, pa isa-isa lang. Ito naman, dire-diretso yung process natin. Continuous yung feed, continuous yung product. So, kailan natin ginagamit yung ganitong klase ng process? We use a continuous process when we need to produce chemicals in bulk amount. Okay, because in continuous process, we will have high throughput. Okay, so ang example niyan is yung petroleum refinery, in which we need to produce petrol, diesel, kerosene, and other petrochemical products in a very large amount, and a daily high throughput is required. Kaya makakakita tayo ng mga large distillation tower in petrochemical industry where yung feed natin is continuously fractionated and the product is taken out continuously. Okay, so yan yung pagkakaiba natin sa ating batch process. In our continuous process, continuous yung feed natin and continuous din yung ating product. Well, ano naman itong tinatawag nating semi-batch process? Well, semi-batch process is neither batch nor continuous, but rather it is the mixture ng ating batch process and continuous process. And mas madali itong ma-explain if we are going to give an example. So, first, let us have a dryer as our example kung saan ginagamit natin wherein, let's say, we have a feed or a wet feed in which we need to reduce the water content. Okay, so let's say here, this is our feed. Okay, so let's have this as F. Okay, so katulad nung ating batch process, at time is equal to 0, we're going to feed our raw material dito sa ating dryer, no? So let's say this is our feed. Okay? So after that, we will stop supplying itong ating feed. So katulad nung batch process, no? At time greater than 0, wala nang papasok na feed dito sa ating dryer. Okay? So kapareho lang siya nung batch process, right? But then, we will be supplying energy dito sa ating system, katulad ng batch process kanina, no? So, since this is a dryer, so we will be supplying energy in a form of heat. So, we will be supplying heat Q dito sa ating process, no? So, we have Q or heat. Now, while we are drying, so nag-evaporate yung ating mga water content, no? So, on this case, the water is continuously going out of our system. Okay, so our water content is going out continuously, no? So this is continuous. And then later on, our product, our dry product will be coming out. Okay, so this is the dried product. Okay, but as you can see, unlike our batch process, wherein the mass cannot enter or cross the boundary, dito sa ating semi-batch process, habang tumatakbo yung ating process, merong mass na natatanggal or nawawala sa ating system. So, mass can also cross the boundary. Continuously, lumalabas yung ating water. Okay, so, that is why you cannot categorize that as batch and you also cannot categorize that as continuous. Okay, because hindi rin naman continuous yung ating feed and product, but continuously merong lumalabas na component dito sa ating process. So, let's say naman meron tayong reactor. There are also reactors that is used in a semi-batch process. Okay, so let's say our feed is charged to our reactor, no? So, let's say this is our feed. So, initially supplied na siya dito sa ating reactor. Okay? Okay, so let's say this is our material A. So, initially, our reactor is having our component A to be processed, no? But during this process, let's say, at time is greater than our initial time. So, at time is greater than our TO. Ibig sabihin, lumagpas na sa ating initial time, we will be adding component B. Okay? So, nag-add tayo ng component B. So, as you can see, we cannot say that this is a batch process because during the process, which is time greater than TO, meron pa ring material na nagko-cross ng ating boundary. So, may pumapasok na mass or material dito sa ating system, no? And let's say because you added another component, so you will be mixing that in order to reach yung kinakailangan nating concentration or condition ng ating product. Okay, so during that process, our product is not yet taken out of our system, no? So, hindi kaagad lumalabas yung ating product because hihintayin natin na ma-reach ng ating product yung condition na kailangan natin bago natin siya ilabas. So, as you can see, it is not a batch process dahil in here, mass is crossing our boundary at time greater than TO, no? Our initial time. And at the same time, hindi rin naman continuously na lumalabas yung ating product. Okay, so it is not batch, it is not continuous, so this is a semi-batch process. Okay, so I hope naging clear na sa atin kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng batch process, continuous process, and semi-batch process. Now, another type of processes na may encounter natin is yung tinatawag nating steady state and unsteady state processes. So, pahapyawan lang natin ngayon kung ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng steady state process and unsteady state process. So, in a steady state process, yung mga process variables natin does not change by time. Well, it can fluctuate a little in a constant value, no? But generally, the variable does not change by time. So, let's say here we have our continuous process because most of the continuous processes na may encounter natin is operating in a steady state process. Okay? So, this is happening mostly sa continuous process na pinag-aralan natin kanina. Okay? So, continuous process means continuous yung ating feed na pumapasok sa ating system and then continuous yung ating product na lumalabas sa ating system. So, dahil continuous siya, so let's say yung feed natin is pareho lang naman yung condition, no? Yung concentration ng ating feed, let's say yung component X and component Y is the same na pumapasok sa ating reactor. And dahil meron tayong expected na product with specific condition din, so let's say pareho rin yung lumalabas na condition or fractions ng ating product, no? So on this type of process, yung mga variables natin does not change, no? Or meron lang tayong maliit na fluctuation. So yan yung mga variables natin like temperature, pressure, yung size natin, and more. Okay, so mas makikita natin yan sa continuous process dahil dapat steady lang yung ating mga variables while we are processing it. So, dahil continuous nating hinihingi yung ating product, so dapat control din yung kanilang mga component or conditions. Now, itong unsteady state process is of course kabaliktaran ng steady state process. So, that means variables change with time. So, kailan ba madalas nangyayari ito? Yung ating unsteady state process, kung saan nagbabago yung ating condition. Nangyayari ito in batch and semi-batch process. So, paano yon? Explain natin, ano? So, let's say meron tayo ditong reactor. So, katulad ng condition na pinakita natin sa semi-batch process, no? So, dito sa reactor natin, let's say, we have component A dito. And then, we are adding component B. And then, let's say, we are mixing, no? In order to reach yung ating concentration na kailangan. Now, sabi natin, in an steady state process, yung conditions natin or yung variables natin changes with time. Because, for example, okay, dito mayroon tayong reactor. So, let us give an example. So, when we are mixing A and B, no, dito sa ating reactor and we are mixing, so, let's say, we have an exothermic reaction dito. So, that means energy is being released during the mixing. So, therefore, our temperature here will increase. Okay, for an exothermic reaction. Okay, so that means yung variable natin will be changing with time, no? Because the more we mix and the more na nagre-react itong ating B sa A, since we have an exothermic reaction, the more our temperature will increase. And once the temperature change, magbabago na rin yung ating pressure, our volume, etc., no? So, that is what we call an unsteady state process, kung saan nagbabago yung ating mga variables with time. Okay, so I hope naging clear na sa atin kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng steady state and unsteady state process, as well as itong mga processes natin like semi-batch, continuous, and batch process. Okay, so that is all for now. Thank you very much and have a nice day. To watch more of our lecture videos about engineering and STEM subjects, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga videos na i-upload namin. We are regularly uploading tutorial videos in engineering, mathematics, chemistry, physics, at iba pang subject na magagamit ninyo sa inyong pagre-review. So, thank you very much sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta sa engineers.org.